Game number 1 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. I just forgot it's actually common courtesy to give the first countdown to the guest, but I guess we don't care about common courtesy to everybody because I believe this will be cut up into pieces. Everybody watching this on YouTube, welcome in to Kingsman, who's here with us. Hello, Kingsman.
Oh, thank you very much, Tugi, for inviting me here for this round 2 showdown. This is very hype. This is very hype. Love both these guys and their rolling techniques here. You got Rahmations and Redshurt, who is on the right, of course, wearing a red shirt, as he should be, as always. That's his signature. And that's one thing we talk about, Tugs, in the world of classic Tetris. You got a branding, right? You got to be able to brand yourself. And Redshirt's one of those guys. You got to always wear the red shirt. There's been times where he's like wearing a white shirt, and it's like, what are you doing, bro? You gotta have the red shirt. That's who you are. And right now, he needs some help to get out of this messy dig. Very tough start for him, but looks like he's going to get some apathetic pieces to assist. And look at that. Tetris to start. Oh, Redshirt knew he wanted to hear it, and there's a Tetris at the bottom, taking us to 77,000. Meanwhile, our friend Rahmations, also a awesome racquetball player, from what I hear and have seen, is 94,000 to start.
I don't think you know this, but because of how Discord works, most people heard about 10% of your Dirty Tetris scream because I think it capped out.
Yes, that's true. I do forget about that clipping part.
Oh boy. Meanwhile, now it's yeah, we'll try and fix that. It's Rahmations in a bit of a mess. 102 for Rahmations, 147 for Redshirt. Rahmations looking to get this Dirty Tetris, looking for a well-timed Lombard. Gonna be able to take a double right there. Rahmations takes a double with a T and gets the Tetris right there. Now needs an L or J. Gonna fix it with a Lombard, and Rahmations now with a clean board. With a right well open. Tetris for Rahmations goes up to 156. Redshirt gonna be able to get the left well. It goes up to 175. Dog watching Tetris. Thank you for the 3 gifted subs. Very kind of you. 177 for Redshirt. 158 for Rahmations.
Yeah, nice job there by Dog watching Tetris. At first, I thought that was a major meme account, and no, they are a really good contributor to all the great stuff going on in classic Tetris. I've seen a Dog watching Tetris in many different streams and is doing exactly that. Good branding right there. Dog watching Tetris is watching Tetris all the time, just as well as Dog plays Tetris. So there you go.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. What is also wonderful is that double from Redshirt. That was very satisfying. Does need a few more burns to get his board clean. Meanwhile, Rahmations is establishing a decent lead here. 253 for Rahmations with a much cleaner board compared to Redshirt at 193. Redshirt waiting for this Lombard. And it's not showing up, so it has to set up some delayed burns. Takes a nice double there with the T. Still waiting for this Lombard. It's going to show up, but not of much use at this point. Now could use a Lombard. 201 for Redshirt. But all this burning has allowed Rahmations to establish over 100,000 points advantage. 324 for Rahmations. 209 for Redshirt. Sorry, I know it seemed like I stopped talking, but then I decided to chime in even more.
No, you're doing fine. That's exactly the way you should do it. And there's a right well Dirty Tetris for Redshirt. Going to play with this left side for a little bit, but yeah, it's been kind of a tough start for Redshirt. Not exactly where you want to be, and especially being down this far. But we have seen Rom sometimes get into these situations. In that first one with NGC, really had a moment of perhaps death-defying Tetrising happening, as some major Tetrises in that latter stages of that one in order to pull it out. But anything can happen, even with rollers, Tugs. Anything can happen. And as you can see, there's a nice dirty triple up at the top for Redshirt to stay alive. Going to reopen that right side. Trying to play on this row too. Really good solves from Redshirt, but just the timing right now. Finally, the Lombard is going to come and get some relief. 270 for Redshirt, 406 out of Tetris for Rahmations. Number 1 seed in the Challenger circuit. And another one for him, 451. Is looking dominant as we're about to head into transition.
Yeah, you can see it right there. Redshurt just now gambled on getting the Lombard for the left side, but gamble didn't work out as he would have hoped, so resulted in a lot more burning, but eventually Redshirt is going to be clean and now set up for another row 2 Tetris. Going to be able to get it. 307 for Redshirt, 499 for Rahmations, so it's been a very strong campaign here on the late team here for Rahmations. Can get one more Tetris, but not looking like he's going to get it, as he's looking for a J to just burn into level 19 at 522. Redshirt with a Suffer 18. Going to transition at 318 now with a Lombard dependency over to the left side, but is going to be able to fill it in. So Redshirt actually has a relatively clean board, although didn't have any spot there for that L piece. But going to fill in a Lombard dependency, and Redshirt looking good to get clean board once again. Almost Tetris ready. Could use a T piece, but gets Tetris ready with a Lombard instead. But now has to deal with troublesome left side. Going to be able to get a J piece over, and now Redshirt in huge danger of topping out. Actually does have his well open. Might be the one saving grace, but Redshirt with those misdrops is going to top out at 327, and Rahmations, almost with double the score, is going to take game number 1. A true suffer game there for Redshirt. That was very rough to watch.
Yeah, most certainly. When you're transitioning at like 300,000 points going into 19, I mean, either you're having a very bad suffer game, or you're watching a king playing some 18 into 19. So really tough start for Redshirt. Not the way you want to open, but Rahmations just too strong right now. Number 1 seed, showing why they are powerful, and you're good to top out unless we're gonna mullen this perhaps.
Well,
give a rule on mulleting here while you stream.
I have no idea. I don't know. Whatever happens. I can't really change fate. I am not the master of the universe, but what I can talk about is, yeah, I don't know. It just felt like Redshirt at certain points just made some gambles, which were fine. Calculated risks are kind of what you have to do to score high, but in a lot of cases they just didn't work out. Maybe some badly timed misdrops as well. And 300,000 transitions can happen even for the world-class players for sure.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely correct. And as you can see, Ram trying to dig out of this at 817, level 25. Probably will need to go to level 52 in order to PB, I guess. So we'll see what you're doing, Ram. We have a little time here. I mean, a couple of matches have gone a little shorter than you probably would anticipate. So I mean, we got some time to kill and give us a chance to look at Ram's rolling. But definitely, as you mentioned, some aggressive plays, some risky plays from Redshirt, and I think as rollers go, that's kind of the gameplay these days. You're going to see a lot more aggressive plays. You're going to see a lot more aggression just because of the ability to be able to move pieces over like that. And Redshirt's got some really good rolling. Haven't really seen too much of Redshirt these days, but not too bad. You can see it can really hit the 5 taps when necessary.
I don't know. I think it's also just a case of just regular Tetris play. It's pretty logical that if you're behind by quite a lot, you're gonna try and go more aggressive, and when things aren't going your way, that can just spiral out of control for sure. If you're just being forced to be more aggressive when the game isn't quite cooperating. Meanwhile, Rahmations may be on the verge of ending this mullen. Who knows? Gets the Lombard over, set up for a Tetris. Oh.
Nope.
Okay.
Lost.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for making us watch that.
That was disappointing. Ram wrote that in the chat.
Yeah, I can't say.
So there you go. But regardless of mullen or not, it's 1 heart on the left for Rahmations. So we are moving on to game 2. We got a ready from Redshirt with the hover 3, and Ram will give us a ready shortly.
Well, we all like to hope so. There it is. Why don't you have the honor of counting this down, King?
Oh, it'd be my pleasure here. Thank you so much, the gracious Tugi, doing a fantastic job hosting challengers. Round number 2 for the orange in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Let's go.
See, that's smart. I never do that, like, trying to time the countdown better. Just, like, save the note. Just go 3 to 1, and then, like, you know. That makes sense.
Sometimes you get lucky with that, you know. I mean, also, I do have the experience, you know, over... Pompey, what are we at now? Like 7,000, 18,000? I don't even know how many matches I called on friendlies. Mart's alone, as he's almost at 269 in friendlies history, if you can even imagine that. I've called at least 269 Mart's matches in my lifetime. That's probably 269 more than I should have. That doesn't include like Monday friendlies and everything else. That's true, but then also some CTL and things like that. So you got a point. I'm sure also you have some of that number as well. When
you know, Mart's, despite being in Canada, very different times, and was a frequent recurring guest on the Euro friendlies, at least last year.
He loved him some Tugi there. And right now, I love me some Rahmations getting out of that high dig and able to get the Tetris in. 119 to start for the player on the left. On the right, Redshirt, a CTWC entrant from 2020, I believe 2021 as well, at 140,000. So early days here, but much better start for Redshirt, certainly.
Yeah.
Look at that reverse 5 below, baby.
Oh, wow. That was
oh my word,
quite nifty. Lombard still now a Lombard dependency here for Redshirt. Gonna be able to get a Lombard over to the right side, which is gonna be helpful. Redshirt there with a double. Nearly touch 30 once again. 160 for Redshirt. Rahmations playing incredibly high, but doesn't seem to be affecting his score. 199 for Rahmations, 183 for Redshirt. It is quite an art form to play while high.
Yes, especially if you are several players in this community. I won't name anybody, but you know, you know who you are.
Yeah, you definitely know who you are. 206 for Redshirt, 245 for Rahmations. Rahmations really stringing these Tetrises together, looking strong. Redshirt with definitely a lot less of a suffer game compared to game number 1. And now stringing together a few Tetrises. 252 for Redshirt, 291 for Rahmations. So halfway point of level 18. And if that is to be a predictor of what the transition scores will be, we're roughly looking at 2 decent 500k transitions. 314 for Rahmations with a Lombard dependency over to the left, but it's going to be filled in, followed by an immediate second Lombard for the Tetris. 337 for Rahmations, 277 for Redshirt.
Would you call that roller RNG there for Rom?
I think it's just normal RNG. Not gonna happen. I was gonna make this point earlier, but to the person who asked who is Redshirt, like, I know I'm harping on this point, but like, bro, Redshirt, you mentioned this, like, he played at CTWC, and one of the very, very few players to have ever gotten a win over the late great Jonas Neubauer.
Yeah, this is true. Actually had a stunning victory, because that was early. I think it was
round 1.
Round 1. It was an opening one, and his reaction was just so great. You know, he couldn't believe that happened, and that's a magical moment. That's a magical moment for Redshirt. And again, that's what I'm saying. You got to kind of remember those things to brand yourself. You know, he's like iconically known for the Redshirt, and iconically known. We need some help over here for Rom, who's gonna just throw squares over to that left side, then just really waiting for a dirty Tetris situation, but he's gonna get the dirty triple instead, man. 380 for Rom. He's starting to lose some pace here. Meanwhile, Redshirt's come right back and actually takes the lead. 403. Add another Tetris for Redshirt to go to 426, and now the tables have turned here, Tugs.
Yeah, so I do want to highlight, though, that those are some very smart placements for Rahmations to give himself the chance to stay alive if Lombard were to appear, and in the end it did. 433 for Rahmations. Looking for a J piece now to get Tetris ready. Lombard will create an L or J dependency now. He's going to get the L. And Rahmations currently 435 with 3 more Tetrises available. Redshirt with 4 more. Currently at 474.
So you see how quickly things kind of change. We always talk about like the first half of 18, where you can kind of gauge what kind of pace players are going to go on, but then you never know what happens on the back half. As Rom was at about 314, like around 69 lines at that juncture, and now is only a 482. So as you mentioned, going to get about a 500K now, but was really more on the cusp of like a high 500, maybe even low 600. But you get kind of stalled there. I mean, while Redshirt's still kind of waiting to fix this board up, trying to get it ready for that 19 plus. Rom's already over there at 531. And here we go, 527. So we got ourselves a game. Game number 2, looking spicy, Tugs.
It's looking good, and especially a lot more spicy after that misdrop there. Not able to get that 5-tap is Redshurt, but gets the next Lombard over to the left side. Has it big on the cards here. L or J would be perfect. The T-piece works as well. Now looking for a J-piece there. Gonna fill him in with a Lombard, and Redshurt now clean. Tetris ready, 538 for Redshurt. Decent start into post-transition though for Rahmations, who's a level ahead, but at 612. Looking good. Oh, doesn't flip the Lombard, but actually ends up being a good horizontal burn anyways. Although covers up the well, and not able to use that Lombard for a Tetris, but uncovering the well right there. Rahmations looking for the Lombard for the Tetris. 648 for Rahmations with another Tetris, goes up to 676. Redshurt just now entering level 22 at 622. So it's a 1 level lead here for Rahmations, and about 50,000 points ahead in score, although Redshurt now having to do some burning, so situation looking good for Rahmations, all things considered. And now the red shirt situation is worsening and worsening, and Redshirt's going to be done at 628, and Rahmations going to take game number 2, going to the 2-0 advantage.
GG there, yeah, just some tough breaks, and then of course you kind of saw the 5-tap didn't go for Redshurt, ended up being a 4-tap with a Lombard, and that was spelling doom at the end. It's just another tough break there going into transition. Things are looking good for Redshurt, then you just get like 1 or 2 wrong pieces with the board accommodation that you have, and that sends you spiraling into out of control, and that is where we end up. 2-0. Rahmations with the lead, looking to close it out. Help threes from both when they are ready. Let's go.
Let's go, indeed. 2 over 3s. Game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, Redshurt, definitely haven't mentioned this before, but Champion Summit winner.
I was actually going to segue into that because you were talking about the Jonas win, which is, I'm sure, probably one of the biggest highlights of his career. But I'm sure the biggest one is becoming a CTL Champion Summit winner, right? And was he the second one?
No, not at all. you got second in the first one, but
okay,
you won 3 of 5 or 3 to 4. I don't remember. Had a very iconic semi-final against a good friend of mine, Rhubarb, who definitely not just mentioning to hurt his feelings, but it was actually incredible. There's a clip of it on my channel somewhere, so shameless plug.
Yes. Although I did notice that your channel's kind of void of highlights these days. I'm just a little perturbed. I was looking for some game film over there, and I was like, why does he not have some of these saved? I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, you know, I think all the I think there's only been one Champion Summit that's actually lost, because I forgot to highlight it, but all the other ones are up.
I think that was mine. I didn't Bill restream some? I forgot.
No, Bill highlights every single restream ever, so that's fine.
So it should still be saved in the archive. And that's the thing that, you know, in all seriousness, that people don't really do is that you don't see a lot of people saving gaming film, which is terrible. Everybody should be highlighting the VODs, regardless of what kind of match it is. You got to have it for history purposes.
And speaking of history, currently Redshurt at 133 and Rahmations at 185. Both players looking clean, so just a very solid start here into 18, but Rahmations slightly in the lead. I know that had nothing to do with history, but just felt like needed to give a score check.
No, man, you're the streamer. I'm just here to commentate and hope to see that Redshurt does not have a early top out, kind of playing again with some dirty situation. Also is Rahmations here up high. Got kind of a filthy board, but that's the one thing about Rahmations. Rahmations rarely misses these 5 taps. Look at that. There we go. Tetris and another Lombard to get another score. Rahmations back to safety. Rahmations 5 taps really looking strong today, and has gotten much better at rolling. I remember seeing Ram in the earlier stages of rolling was struggling quite a bit, and actually was thinking about giving it up. Just like, man, I can't do this. But perseverance hangs in, and it's paying off right now. Is 1 win away from booking a semifinal ticket already for the July event.
Yeah, currently, Redshurt could really use a Lombard right here. Could very much use a Lombard right here. Might even be too late. As I say, that gets the Lombard over a ridiculous height. Still not out of the woods just yet, but has dramatically increased his odds of survival with that Lombard over to the right side. Still in need of some good pieces. Now actually needs a second Lombard really to stay alive. A J piece might work, but now needs a Lombard for the left side. And if it takes any longer, it might just be that, and that's all she wrote. Redshirt is done at 231, and Rahmations at 335 is going to take game number 3. And the win over Redshirt. Rough day at the office in that game. Just have to say it for Redshirt. Definitely very strong player, and showed some of that in the match against Lomboy, but it wasn't to be here. But it was a pleasure to host you, and hope to see you again. Thank you so much, Redshirt. And yeah, Rahmations, our bracket winner.
There you go. Congratulations to you, Ram. Excellent job. And look at that glove. Look at that glove right there. I wonder if that exposure of the thumb is on purpose, or is that just from wear and tear of the rolling? That'd be very interesting to find out. Ram could let us know, because kind of tells you that's putting miles on that glove. And I wonder if how many gloves rollers are going through these days. Like, there's some people that just would like to stick with the one glove and kind of just, it's like a baseball glove, right? You got to just break it in and wear it out until you can't use it no more. So wonder if that's the same thing for our rollers in Classic Tetris.
Well, I think the Eric's rolling gloves, which you can buy with the Amazon link, by the way, I think those comes in like packs of like 10 or something, because I think you just go through them like quite a bit. I don't know. I've never bought those, so can't confirm that. But speaking of gloves, here we have our bracket. It is now fully updated and fully reported. Rahmations, our first semifinalist of this month's Challengers event, Challengers Circuit. There's actually no difference between the Masters event, Challengers Circuit, Futures Circuit, and Hopeful Circuit. So actually, they should all be called Circuit or Event, but branding and that, I don't know.
We'll talk to the bosses about that.
Yeah, really should.
Maybe at the next meeting, right? We'll bring it to the next meeting.
Yeah, the next meeting, whatever. I don't know. Someone is requesting show Raw's game. Okay, sure, we'll show it.
That's no, trust me, that's a big Raw fan right there. That's Dirt 63. Also earlier wanted to have Ram Mullen. It's like, let him Mullen. So big Rahmations fan right there, Dirt 63.
Yeah, well, Rahmations, please don't top out, because I'm going to show the other brackets. So there you go. That was our final bracket, and Rahmations taking the win. And we have our semifinal bracket. Rahmations, our first name inscribed onto that match lineup. We'll be taking on the winner of the blue bracket, which will feature SV, Dylan, Ella, and Zeno. So yeah, but now we go back to watching Rahmations play, and so I guess that gives us the opportunity to talk about whatever we want. I don't know. Well,
we could talk about that blue bracket you just mentioned. I mean, those are some really outstanding players there. I mean, no shock. Talking Challenger Circuit, they're just as good. I mean, we had the April Mega event, right? Mega Masters. So this is pretty much what it is every month in Challengers. You're seeing the top 32 in the world play, every month. So they're just fighting for a spot for next month's a Masters event, which is the big money tournament. And I mean, we can talk about how important Masters is for certain players, and like yourself, you got to participate in a Masters event, right?
Yes,
And,
I definitely got to participate. Don't know if I can call it anything beyond that, but it was I was just happy to participate. But yeah, I made it in.
I mean, that's a huge achievement in this era now.
Very proud of that. It was in March this year, I believe, and very nice moment. Obviously didn't do very much in the game. Also didn't help that I was literally coming off of like 2 weeks of not playing, seeing as how I was in New York visiting you. One of the things I did. It definitely didn't help. Time. Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah, so you and Pumpy have something in common. You both had cheesecake with me.
Yes.
Although you definitely at least you definitely ate.
Actually, no, I didn't have any. I didn't have any
Pumpy's
cheesecake.
Pumpy's a food. Well, he had. That's the funny thing. See, so you didn't eat the cheesecake, but Pumpy did. You ate your meal. Pumpy didn't. Like, Pumpy's such a food snob. He did not enjoy his meal. So whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't too big. Like, yeah, honestly, I wasn't too big of a fan either. But I mean, I gotta eat it. Like, it's like you paid for it, so I gotta eat it.
No, well, he paid for his own meal, so
yeah, so that's fair enough.
He can do whatever he wants, but nonetheless. Let's see. I don't think Ram is keeping this alive. Trying to show the crowd what he can do. Yeah, as mentioned, he's really very good job by Ram today. Excellent 5 taps all day long, and that perseveres, gets him the win. So GG's to you, Ram, and congratulations. And of course, as you can see at the bottom, Master's Prize Pool is 100% fan fund to contribute at go.ctm/g or .gg or whatever it is. And Maturinos, just go to Maturino or use the link !Matturino. It'll come up there, and go hit the link. Help these guys out, man. Ram wants to go to the big show next month. Gonna have to fight his way through, and maybe he'll get some money in the Matturino. But only you guys, the fans, can make it happen. So please, go there. Help out the players.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.